Your first paycheck feels bigger than it really is, not because of the number printed on it, but because of what it represents. For someone starting from zero, that first paycheck is more than money. It's relief, it's validation, it's proof that something is finally changing. For the first time in a long time, you're not just waiting, you're earning. And that emotional weight is exactly why the first paycheck matters so much. Not financially, psychologically. Because the first paycheck teaches your brain what money is for. Most people think the biggest mistake with a first paycheck is spending too much. It's not. The real mistake is using that money to emotionally compensate for everything that came before it. The stress, the uncertainty, the months of feeling behind, the quiet fear of never catching up. When you've been starting from zero, your brain isn't calm when money finally arrives. It's overloaded. So the decisions you make in that moment aren't logical. They're emotional. Here's what usually happens. You get paid. Your body relaxes before your mind does. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows down. For a moment, life feels lighter. And almost immediately, your thoughts begin to justify. I deserve this. I've been struggling for too long. I finally earned the right to enjoy something. And none of that is wrong. You do deserve relief. But here's the dangerous part. If the first job money has in your life is emotional relief, your brain learns a rule. Money exists to remove discomfort, not to create safety, not to build structure, not to protect the future, just to make the present easier. And once your brain learns that rule, it keeps repeating it. That's why two people can receive their first paycheck at the same time and end up in completely different places years later. Not because one is smarter, not because one earns more, but because one used that moment to build safety and the other used it to buy comfort. Here's something most people never think about. When you're starting from zero, your life has no margin. One unexpected bill can throw everything off. One broken phone can become a crisis. One missed paycheck can create panic. And when you live like that, money doesn't feel like a tool. It feels like oxygen. So when you finally get a paycheck, your brain doesn't say, let's build a plan. It says, finally, breathe. That's why the first paycheck is so emotional. And that's why it needs a calm strategy. Because if you don't choose intentionally, you'll choose automatically. And automatic choices usually look like this. A bigger meal, because you're tired of being careful. New clothes, because you want to feel like you've moved up. A new phone payment, because you want your life to look normal. A few small purchases that say, I'm not that person anymore. Again, none of these are evil, but here's what they do. They turn the paycheck into a temporary mood boost, and then the month begins again. Same pressure, same fragility, same feeling of being one problem away from stress. That's the trap. So your first paycheck shouldn't be used to upgrade how your life looks. It should be used to upgrade how safe your life feels. That's the shift most people never make. Your first paycheck is not about celebration. It's about stabilization. And stabilization doesn't feel exciting. It feels boring. But boring is exactly what creates calm. Here's a question almost no one asks themselves when that first paycheck arrives. What will make next month easier? Not happier, not more impressive, not more comfortable. Easier. Easier mornings, easier reactions to problems, easier nights. Sometimes the smartest use of money is removing pressure, not adding pleasure. Paying off something that's been hanging over your head, fixing a small problem before it becomes a big one, creating a small buffer so one surprise doesn't derail you. Those decisions don't feel like progress, but they are, because safety compounds faster than pleasure ever will. Here's a simple framework if you're starting from zero. 3 priorities. First, reduce pressure.
Use part of your paycheck to remove one source of stress from your life. Not everything, just one thing. A bill that keeps you tense, a small debt that follows you around, an overdue expense that drains your energy. Second, create margin. Even a small amount set aside changes how your brain behaves. It tells you something important. I'm not one mistake away from panic. That belief alone changes how you spend, how you plan, and how you react to setbacks. And to make this real, I want you to set a number, not a dream number, a safety number. For some people, it's $50. For some people, it's $200. It's the amount that makes you think, okay, if something small happens, I won't collapse. That's not savings for status, that's savings for breath. Third, allow intentional enjoyment, not impulsive spending, not emotional compensation. One thing, chosen calmly, without guilt. And here's the key. Enjoyment is not the enemy. Unplanned enjoyment is. Because unplanned enjoyment teaches your brain that money exists to rescue your mood. Planned enjoyment teaches your brain that you're in control, that order matters. Pressure first, margin second, enjoyment last. When people reverse that order, enjoyment becomes a trap, and the cycle quietly restarts. Now let's go one level deeper, because this is where most people slip. The first paycheck is also where identity gets formed. Not your identity as a person, your identity as a money person. You start telling yourself stories like, I'm the type who can't hold on to money. I'm the type who always has to catch up. I'm the type who needs to enjoy it now because life is hard. These stories feel true because they've been repeated. But your first paycheck is a chance to write a different story, a smaller story, a calmer story. A story like, I build safety first. I create margin on purpose. I don't need to prove anything with spending. That identity is worth more than any purchase you can make in week one. Because identity is what controls your behavior when motivation disappears. So if you're starting from zero, your first paycheck isn't about catching up with anyone. It's about setting the tone for yourself. Because money habits don't start when you're rich. They start the moment money finally arrives. And the way you treat this paycheck quietly teaches your brain how every future dollar should be treated. If you get this moment right, money starts to feel lighter. If you get it wrong, money keeps feeling heavy, no matter how much you earn. So if this is your first paycheck, or your first paycheck after a long period of struggle, slow down. Not to punish yourself, not to be strict, but to be intentional. Because habits built in calm moments last longer than decisions made in emotional ones. If you want help turning this mindset into daily structure, I created a calm 30-day challenge called 30 Days to Build Wealth Habits. It's not about being perfect, it's about building habits you can actually repeat. The link is in the description. No pressure, just a better way to start.